Hey, all you perfectionists. Welcome to Perfect Edition Comics. As usual, I'm your host, Perfect. And today we're going to take a look at my top 10 collected editions for October. Let's do this thing. Hey, just remember there's no intention from this video for you to pick up all 10 of these books or anything more than one or none if you don't have the budget for it. So hopefully these videos will help you see a bit more of the breadth and depth of all the stuff that's coming out next month and help you to pick just one book next month that might be the perfect one for your collection. So try not to kind of get into all the FOMO and feel like you have to buy everything I mention every month or what any other YouTuber or any kind of reviewer tells you must buy. I think more the vibe I'd love you to take from these videos is to get an idea of that breadth and that depth, right? So that you can find your genre, your niche, or maybe kind of be enlightened and see something you never thought about before that actually could replace something else. So maybe instead of the 17th Batman book this month, pick up something obscure from another publisher you might not have seen that actually might hit the spot for you a lot more than just the generic stuff that's always out there. Okay, enough of the preaching, let's get on with the show. First up at number 10 on my list, I've got the Jodorowsky Library Edition Volume 1. The Jodorowsky Library, a collection of deluxe matching volumes accumulating the iconic works of the legendary Alejandro Jodorowsky. Each volume includes 2 or more essential lead titles, accompanied by previously unseen bonus materials and extras, including rare pages from Jodorowsky's never reprinted comics debut in 1966. So I should say this isn't like a library edition in the Dark Horse sense. It's not like massively oversized, huge, everything else that goes with that. This is the library of Jodorowsky's works, which I don't believe have been published before in English, and Humanoids is doing that in a series of a library of his works. Cool. Anyway, this first edition collects Annabelle 5, Megalex, and selected other short stories. Its size is more of a European album hardcover, so it's pretty much like a little bit or around the same as a standard size hardcover in height, but it's got that extra width for that kind of cinematic European album feel. And it's published by Humanoids. Next up at number 9, or maybe at number 1 on the Guilty Pleasures list, is none other than Nocterra Volume 1. It's been 10 years since Val Riggs saw the sun swallowed up by darkness. 10 years since nearly everyone she knew was infected and changed into hideous shades. Now a ferryman providing transport for people and goods, she traverses the deadly, unlit roads in her 18-wheeler, taking on whatever evils the night provides, by Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel. This reminds me a lot of the Top Cow stuff that came out back in the day in the 90s and a little bit into the 2000s. Think Michael Turner, think Darkness and Witchblade and all that kind of stuff. I get huge vibes of that kind of vibe for this. So if you want a guilty pleasure, then maybe consider this one. It is a trade paperback. It collects the first 6 issues, the first major arc of Nocterra, and is published by Image Comics. Next, we've got Megatropolis Book One, an Art Deco reimagining of the world of Judge Dredd from the critically acclaimed artist of Batman Death by Design. Experience the iconic city of Mega City 1 as never before in this visionary comic from Kenneth Niemand, I don't know, and Dave Taylor. This oversized hardcover collection includes a gallery of cover art and never seen before concept sketches. This is an oversized hardcover. I think it's around 96 or 100 pages though. It's not like massive, so keep that in mind. And it's published by none other than, of course, Judge Dredd. It's got to be 2000 AD. At number 7, we've got Batwoman Omnibus. This is J.H. William III's insane, beautiful, phenomenal art. So yeah, look at this cover. I don't know if this is the variant or an older version. I've seen other versions coming out, so I'm not sure what the final one is. But anyway, his art is just mind-blowing. His panel layouts, his kind of inverse paneling, all the angles he does, it's beautiful to look at. If you haven't seen it before, I'd recommend taking a look at him because he's one of the best artists out there right now. This is his extensive work on Batwoman that saw him play with both writer and illustrator duties. The Batwoman Omnibus by J.H. Williams III is a visually stunning collection that includes works from his frequent collaborators Greg Rucka and W. Hayden Blackman, here in its entirety. So let's look at what it collects. It collects Detective Comics 854 through 863, Batwoman 0 from the New 52, Batwoman 0 through 24, and Batwoman Annual Number 1. It's an Omni, so of course it's a hardcover, oversized, huge, don't know the page count, but with all those issues, it's going to be a big doorstopper, I'm sure, and obviously comes to you from DC Comics. At number 6, we've got a Phillips and Brubaker combination hitting you right between the eyes. This is Destroy All Monsters and is a Reckless book, which means part of the ongoing Reckless series of original graphic novels that Phillips and Brubaker are releasing. Best-selling crime noir masters Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips bring us a new original graphic novel starring troublemaker for hire Ethan Reckless. It's 1988, and Ethan has been hired for his strangest case yet, finding the secrets of a Los Angeles real estate mogul. How hard could that be, right? Only, what starts as a deep dive into the life of a stranger will soon take a deadly turn, and find Ethan risking everything that still matters to him. As I said, it is an OGN, it's in a hardcover format. I believe it's a standard size hardcover like the rest of these books, and it's published by Image Comics. Next up we have Origins, and this is right up my alley, kind of sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, insane designs and drawings and all mixture of kind of organic stuff mixing into technology. Yeah, definitely my jam. Let's take a read and see what this series is all about. 1,000 years after humans have gone extinct and artificial intelligence has taken over the world, a single man is brought back to life, David Adams, the genius whose technology was responsible for the destruction of his species, and who has been given a second chance at life in order to save mankind and undo his biggest mistake. This collects the first arc 1 through 6, it's in a trade paperback format, and it comes to you from Boom Studios. I always want to say it like that because there's an exclamation mark, right? Anyway. At number 4 we have Spider-Man Spider's Shadow. This kind of appealed to me just because it sounded different from the standard, and it's got a name which always draws my attention, which is Chip Zdarsky on writing. In the proud Marvel tradition of What If, Chip Zdarsky and Pascal Ferry imagine a world where Peter Parker became Venom. Spider-Man once donned an alien suit that nearly destroyed his life. But what if he never took it off? In this shocking new version of the story, Peter ignores every warning and embraces his dark symbiote. This collects issues 1 through 4, which I believe is the whole kind of mini-series in its entirety. It's in trade paperback format, and of course comes to you from none other than Marvel Comics. At number 3 we've got Siktich Deluxe Book One. Try and say that 3 times fast. It won't put you through it. And if you don't know what Siktich is, which is my new beautiful pronunciation of that shortened version of Something is Killing the Children. Oh yeah. So I've been waiting on this one. It's got all the hype in the world. I was waiting for a hardcover. I don't know if I will get it in hardcover. I might read it digitally a bit more and see if I really want it in this version. And if I really want to have it, I know it's like really hyped for the story. I don't know if the art's really my thing oversized and if I want to kind of throw the money at it, so I've still got to make that choice. But anyway, let's read about this. The definitive collection of the entire Archer's Peak saga for the first time in a single volume. This deluxe edition hardcover includes Something is Killing the Children 1 through 15 by GLAAD award-winning writer James Tynion IV and artist Wertherdell Ederer. Sorry if I murdered your name. As I said, it collects Something is Killing the Children 1 through 15. It's an oversized hardcover, and once again comes to you from Boom Studios. At number 2, and trust me, this was a real fight between 1 and 2 for this, because I've been looking forward to a collected edition of Far Sector for what feels like 3 or 4 years now. Really wanted to read it. I read a bit digitally. I've been holding out because the art looks so stunning. I really wanted it kind of in one sitting and in one book. Not so happy about the trade format, but anyway, beggars can't be choosers when it comes to DC. But let me take you through what Far Sector is all about and why I'm pretty hyped for this book. For the past 6 months, newly chosen Green Lantern, Sojourner Joe Mullane. Anyway, has been protecting the city enduring, a massive metropolis of 20 billion people. The city has maintained peace for over 500 years by stripping its citizens of their ability to feel. As a result, violent crime is virtually unheard of, and murder is non-existent. But that is all about to change. So this collects the entire run of Far Sector 1 through 12. It is a trade paperback, quite a chunky one at that, and it's brought to you by DC's sub-brand Young Animal. The main reason I'm super hyped for this is because I think I first started reading a little bit of this digitally and getting into it after I'd finished Jeff Johns' 3 Omni run on Green Lantern, and I was super into the universe, and the art sold me and the story sounded different, and I loved the first 2 or 3 issues, and then I was like, I kind of want to wait for this, so I waited, and now finally it's here. I would love it in an oversized hardcover format, but again it's DC, so that might take another 3 years. So I'm just debating and trying to find a good price, and we'll probably try and pick this up as 1 or 2 big books that I pick up next month in October. And at number 1, we've got none other than one of the best published comics out there. This is Vinland Saga Volume 12. I know some of you are going to be like, but this isn't a comic, it's manga. Well, actually, it is a comic. It's the same thing, it's sequential art, shorts, black and white. There's many black and white comics out there in the world. Don't be fooled. If you are kind of put off by manga, this is the one kind of universal truth manga that can work across the comics medium. It's beautiful artwork, a stunning story, and for many collectors, the thing that might push them into this is that it's a hardcover version. So this is a 2-in-1 hardcover collection. It collects 2 tankobon, or 2 standard soft covers that come out in Japan in one. This specific one covers volumes 23 and 24 of the series and is the 12th hardcover in the hardcover collection from Kodansha. Again, if you aren't into manga, I still suggest this is the one manga that kind of breaks that medium, or will break that for you. It's an historical fantasy, but more based in reality than fantasy, with a lot of kind of historical facts mixed into the story that is made up. But it is stunning. It's got twists galore, beautiful kind of background art, stunning battles, super exciting. Yeah, and it just goes through the life of this guy, this Viking guy. I don't want to give it away because there's so many things going on, but it's fantastic. It's just one of the best series you'll read, one of my favorites. And the reason why I'm hyping this at number 1 is because we've literally been waiting what feels like years, and it's probably years for this now. I think Volume 11 came out 1.5 to 2 years ago, and we've been waiting for this. So this is going to be to buy for me as soon as it's released. It is Kodansha, so I'm going to hype it for October, and it'll probably come out in December knowing Kodansha. It's kind of been put out there in a few different solicitations and has never made its way to shelves yet, but hoping that the release date we've got for next month does happen. If not, it's pushed to November. I can wait another 30 days and that'll be cool. I just want to say thanks so much for watching. Hit me up in a comment below for what is that one book you really want to purchase from the list. I'd love to know. Don't forget to drop a like if you can. And remember, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and get some more info on what books might fit your shopping list for the next month. And remember, stay perfect. See ya.